Okay, today we are going to discuss about properties of parallelogram. So, for parallelogram, we have 5 properties. So, number 1, we have opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles are supplementary, diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other, diagonals of a parallelogram forms two congruent triangles. So I'm going to discuss each of these properties. So let us discuss first the first property, which is opposite sides are congruent. So for example, I have here parallelogram ABCD. So we all know that if we are going to name those sides, we can name them as AB parallel to CD and BC is parallel to AD. So when we are talking about opposite sides, those are the sides that are parallel. So we are talking about AB parallel to CD and then BC parallel to AD. So those parallel sides are congruent. So if they are parallel, meaning they are also congruent, we can say that AB is congruent to CD and BC is congruent to AD. Meaning to say, if the value of BC is 7 centimeters, meaning the value of AD is also 7 centimeters because they are congruent. Also, if AB is 4 centimeter, for example, therefore, CD is also 4 centimeter. Second property is opposite angles are congruent. So here, we are talking about angles. So for example, angle A, so this is congruent to angle C. And angle B is congruent to angle D. So we can write it as angle A congruent to angle C and angle B congruent to angle D. So for example, angle B is 46 degrees. So if angle B is 46 degrees, and since they are congruent with angle D, meaning angle D is also 46 degrees because they are opposite angles. So the third property is consecutive angles are supplementary. When we say supplementary, it must be equal to 180 degrees. So for example, consecutive angles, so that is angle A plus angle B. So we have angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Or we have angle B and angle C. So we have angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degrees. Or we have angle C and angle D. So we have angle C plus angle D is equal to 180 degrees. Also, angle D and angle A. So meaning, when we say consecutive angles, magkasunod. So example, if angle A is equal to 85 degrees, then what is the measure of angle B? So if we are going to look at the figure, angle A here is 85 degrees. And yung sumunod na angle sa kanya is angle B. So since magkasunod sila, meaning they are consecutive. So if they are consecutive, sabi sa property, consecutive angles are supplementary. So meaning, if we are going to add the two angles, it must be equal to 180 degrees. So we are going to come up with angle A plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. So we are just going to substitute the value of angle A, which is 85 degrees, plus angle B is equal to 180 degrees. So we need to transpose to the right side of the equation 85 degrees. So we're going to come up with angle B is equal to 180 degrees. So since this is positive, it will become negative. So minus 85 degrees. So 180 minus 85, we are going to have angle B is equal to 95 degrees. So as you can see, angle A is 85 while angle B is 95. And if we are going to have the sum of these two angles, we are going to come up with 180 degrees. So it means that consecutive angles are supplementary. Fourth property is diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So the diagonals here are BC and, or sorry, BD and AC. So those are the diagonals. And when we say bisect each other, meaning hinahati into two equal parts. So for example, BD and AC, they intersect at point E. So this is the point of intersection. So when we say bisect each other, BD bisect AC, at the same time, AC bisect BD. So meaning BE will be congruent to ED and AE will be congruent to EC. If we are going to write it down, that it must be BE congruent to ED and AE is congruent to EC. So for example, the measure of AE is 3. So since they are congruent, EC is also 3. If we are going to get the value of AC, we are just going to add them. Kasi yung kabuuan ni AC ay pinagsamang AE at EC. AE and EC. So 3 plus 3, AC is equal to 6. The same goes with BD. So for example, BE is 2. If that is 2, meaning ED is also 2. And for us to get the value of BD, yung kabuuan ng BE at ED, if we are going to get this, we are just going to add BE and ED. So, BD is equal to 4. Last property is diagonals of a parallelogram forms two congruent triangles. If we are going to draw the diagonal BD, you can obviously see that we can form two congruent triangles. So that is triangle BAD, triangle BAD, congruent to triangle BCD. Or we can come up with another triangle or another two congruent triangles if we are going to connect A and C. Or if we are going to use AC, we are going to have two congruent triangles, which is triangle CAD, congruent to triangle. Another triangle is BCA, triangle BCA. So, if we have two diagonals, we can come up with two pairs of congruent triangles. So I hope you learned something today about the properties of parallelogram. Thank you.